This year, they will hit 60 years of making music, and to celebrate the milestone, they'll be performing in the Mayibuye iAfrica concert in late May. This will be a compilation of tributes to South African struggle songs and 30 years of democracy. The ladies of Mahotela Queens, Mam Hilda Tloubatla, Nobesuthu Mpata and Amanda Nkosi join us in studio to tell us more about the concert and so much more. Ladies, a good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning, and thank you for having us.
I have to say this, Mam Hilda came in and she said, Naledi Mama, you know, it's hard to believe ukuthi Mahotela Queens waqala ngo-1964.
Yes, babe.
That's a long time.
Long time.
Yeah.
I was 22 years then.
Nkosi yami.
Yes, my baby.
What was the thinking maniqala, Mama?
Masiqala?
Yes.
The person who formed this group is the late Rupert Bupape. Umuntu our formerly group. And Tina mangifika e-studio Galo Record Company ngasuka vile ekhaya ngihlala Springs kwaThema.
Yes.
Beyazi ukuthi ngesikolweni luggage post luggage yahamba esikolweni mina kanti ngiyazi ukuthi angiyofika ngifuna ukucula.
Ufuna ukucula.
Ya vele ngizalwa vele I'm born a musician kwasesikolweni. Bengiloko ngigood kwasesikolweni. It's my gift from God.
Sikhule sinibukele.
Yes.
Nihamba no Baba Mahlathini.
Yeah.
And what a period that was, right? And so many of them have left, they've departed, basishile. But mawucabanga mama basishiye ngani? What is the message that they've left us with?
Man, akuna message abayishile labantu laba bagula bahamba. Mahlathini, Max Mankwana, our lead guitarist, abo Western Nkosi, Kizo Mncane, bama rhythm guitars. Bantu nje nabavele nje nabagula nje 1 2 3 1 2 3 and 1 2 3 bahamba. Bahamba singakazimiseli singakakade ukuthi bayahamba. Yes.
Kodwa imisebenzi yabo yona isele.
Imisebenzi yabo isasele up till this day. Mikhulu imisebenzi yabo up till this day abayenza. Phela le group yafoma yibo. Yafoma ama guitarist wona wonke la hamba no Mahlathini nakanye namantombazana. Unfortunately ngiyabona la ukuthi ubhalile igama laka Nobesuthu Shawe. Unfortunately, she has passed away. So, kwafuneka ngimreplace ngo-Amanda.
Oh, gosh.
Nonkululeko. I mean, Nonkululeko. Ngimreplace ngo-Nonkululeko.
Okay.
Amanda. I mean, Nobesuthu Shawe. Yeah.
You know, Mama, I want to go back to 1994. 30 years ago on this day, we voted a democracy into this country, and all of us remember, I was saying to Tembi Siete earlier, the musicians of that time became the soundtrack of our country. And the Mahotela Queens was one of those groups, is one of those groups. You were the soundtrack to Nonkululeko Yethu, like South Africa. Do you see it like that, Mawipe?
Yes, ngempela ngizasho ukuthi dingisho ukuthi kwakuyi soundtrack vele because music Mahotela Queens, yes, because vele futhi phela remember when we started voting, the late Nelson Mandela wayesaphila angisho, and yasazi ukuthi yonke into iphethwe yi-ANC, yonke into impilo yethu South Africa iphethwe yi-ANC, and whenever sivotele i-ANC uMandela futhi sazi ukuthi yibo abasilwelayo bamezigangeni i-ANC, yibo abasilwelayo ngoba bekuthi even if siyatravelile overseas masifike ema-airport phethe passport yakho bathi South African, but do you know about Mandela? Do you know about ANC? Yes. Yes. So yes, ngempela bese soundtrack ngempela.
Nani kuphi mama nge-27 zika April 1994 Mahotela Queens?
I can't remember yet.
It's a long time ago.
It's a long time ago. 1994, I can't remember. Makuvotiwa sasikhona kodwa sasisemakhaya maqala kuvotiwa. Yes, sisemakhaya.
When you performed on stage in that time, what did South Africans look like? You know, when you sit on that stage and the crowds are in front of you, badansela Mahotela Queens, what did that look like for them?
Hey mntana saka kwaku exciting. Hey, exciting kahle kahle. I-crowd yethu ngaleso sikhathi yabantu abadala abaya khaleb le group who were supporting Mahotella Queens, Mahlathini, Mahotella Queens in music. Sabuildwa yibo. That's why up till now namanje ngikutshela ngithi mawukhuluma nami ungakhuluma isilungu ngoba thina sakhiwa abantu abadala abadala iEnglish bekuyisizulu nesotho namaXhosa naye bekhulunywa isintu and ngempela my God bekumnandi. That was very much interesting. They were very much interested in our music, and even if si performers ba performela nangamalanga lama vote lama elections, you could see good ba excited with my God bajabulile ukuthi hey Mahotella Queens a performer ngelanga le vote.
And then you say mama ukuthi iMahotella Queens yakho abantu abadala. And then now you pass on the baton to young ladies. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us. Introduce yourselves to our viewers and what it feels like to be part of this legendary group.
Greetings, everyone. I go by the name of Amanda Nkosi. For me to be part of the Queens is such an honor.
The Queens.
Yes. Yes. Because growing up, I used to do traditional dancing and dance to their music on street. And when, like you were saying about the 30 years of freedom, I remember back then we were doing a campaign. I was in this traditional group called Umzingizi, and we were singing Ingoma Zomama.
Yes.
So for me to be a part of that, it just shows ukuthi our country has changed and we have more possibilities. If you have a dream, go for it. Nami, I'm living my dream. I didn't know what I could join Group Mama. So I'll forever be grateful for that.
Wow. That's such a powerful story, right? That you grew up singing the songs of Mahotella Queens and now you're part of it. Sisi, please tell us about your journey with the Mahotella Queens.
Wow, okay. Mbulise ababukeli ekhaya. I go by the name of Nonkululeko Maseko. I'm the youngest in the group.
Yes.
Last born.
The youngest queen.
The youngest queen. So, yeah, being part of this group, like, for me, it's an amazing journey so far since I joined the group back in 2017. It was like, to me, at first I didn't even imagine myself being with the Queens, as much as I've always dreamed to travel and be on big stages, sharing a stage with big names. It has always been my dream. Yeah. So, Mama said, I had to come join the group. I was like, is it me? Like, can somebody come and pinch me? Because like it doesn't sound so real, you know? So, and I joined the group, and because it makes you to stay grounded. Like it forces you to stay grounded. As much as we can be wild, I mean, when you are youngsters, bona stratini and do all those nasty things. But when you are with Abo Mama, njengoba ashukuthi bona dala music kwabo bolandelo abantu abadala. With us being young as we are, sisebenza nomuntu omdala, it's so amazing because sifunda okuningi, we learn a lot. Like it respects everything. You respect the old, you respect the young.
Mama, you've made dreams come true.
Yes, my dear.
And I think that's the true essence of what it means to be South African as we celebrate 30 years of our democracy. How do the crowds receive the Mahotella Queens 30 years into democracy? And what's the message that you think the Queens need to be sharing or are sharing with the nation as we celebrate 30 years, go into elections and really rethink ourselves as a country?
You know, well, firstly, with me, it's challenging. Explain it for me how, like, what it means, democracy for me for 30 years. Like, for me, the first word that comes into mind is liberation. Like, we are all being liberated. And it's a constant reminder of the immeasurable sacrifices that were made by the ones that came before us, you know. So now coming back to music, Wabo Mama, back then, so people, whenever you call igama la Mahotella Queens, people know what, number one, abantu besintu, number two, abantu abamnyama, you know. So whatever you bring on the table musically, if Epuma from the Mahotella Queens, people will always associate that with freedom. Yes.
Amanda?
Okay, to me, I must say, the name Mahotella Queens on its own, it carries so much weight, you know, and I'm going to refer back because I got to experience the pre-democracy. I'm an 80s baby, so I know what it smells smells like. I know I'm a struggle songs. I know the transition before the elections, the first elections, what I witnessed. I was young and I lived in Main Road, so I could see Abantu Batoitoya, I could see people celebrating and being part of that. And Gimina Buyisa Wuti, I need not forget where I come from. I need not forget Umpaqanga, the roots of Umpaqanga, because that's how they were telling their stories. That's how the message was being sent through music.
Yeah.
So the power of music, it plays a very big major role. And for the fact that our own mama, they're singing in their own indigenous language.
Yeah.
And it gives us that sense of pride, that language preservation.
Yes.
It's okay to be different. It's okay to sing in your own language.
And be you.
And be you, be your
Celebrate.
authentic self. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, a South African, it's beautiful.
Okay, Mama, let me ask you this as we wrap up. Unfortunately, I'm almost out of time, but I want to ask you this. The South Africans that are watching right now, a message, Mhlambe, that you have for them.
Man, a message that I'm having for South Africans is that, well, there's no other message that I can say, is to say, thank you so much, South Africa. We are what we are. This group is what it is. Like I said before, that we are what we are is because of the support that we received from our old South Africans. Hence, we are international musicians. Abo Mahlathini, they passed away, Bonke, Nabo Max Mankan. We have performed Nabo Michael Jackson, Nabo Sammy Davis Jr., Nabo Ray Charles, all the Quincy Jones. Really, the whole American musicians. And some number two, we are. When you can think I'm a South African citizen, no, I'm in New Orleans.
Come on now.
And I've got
Come on now.
I'm a citizen in New Orleans and in South Africa. It's because of the old South Africans. And thank you very much.